Only at the Indianapolis
Zoo.
Only at the Indianapolis
Zoo.
Hi guys! Welcome. My name is Desiree and I work here at the Indianapolis Zoo. And today I'm joined with my coworker who is working my camera, Lori. She's my coworker in crime here, and we are behind our gardens out by the White River. You can see the city downtown behind me here, and I figured that this was a great place for us to read one of my favorite books. And this book is called Explorers of the Wild. So I'm going to show you the front of it so you can get a good look at it. And it's written by a gentleman named Cale Atkinson. So if you want to be able to check that book out, you most certainly can, now that you know the author's name. Now, our book is about explorers, and I thought this was a great place because this is one of the greatest places in our city to be able to explore, but it does not mean that you don't have great places to explore right in your own neighborhood and in your backyard. And since we're practicing social distancing, you should probably start with your backyard and see some of the cool things that you might have out there. Now, if you do your exploring right today, we're going to make a nature monster at the end of this, and I'll tell you all about what that entails at the very end. But as an explorer, any good explorer knows, you have to have some things with you to help you explore. I have my binoculars, and I've been looking at birds today with these binoculars, but I have a whole pack of different things that you can use to help you be able to explore. Like, for instance, any good explorer knows pencils and paper to be able to take notes is a great thing to have when you're exploring. I also have some crayons here if I want to color in some things. And speaking of color, I also have something that I think is pretty fun. I have a whole little bunch of swatches of colors that you can use to be able to see if you see these colors out in nature. Now, I bet you could probably find some of this green or maybe even some of the blue that I have here if you're looking around behind me. So these are a lot of fun to be able to grab and be able to use when you go exploring. Now, we're going to read our book, Explorers of the Wild, and at the end, I'm going to tell you and show you how to make a nature monster. Now, in order to make a nature monster, what you're going to do is you're going to find anything that you can use in your own backyard that you can glue to a page. And we'll talk about that at the end of our book. So here is Explorers of the Wild by Cale Atkinson. Now, one of my favorite things about the inside of this book is if you're a good explorer, you can make your own maps of where things are around you. And this is a good look at all the map that our Ken and our story made of his surroundings. So here's our book, Explorers of the Wild by Cale Atkinson. I love to explore. It's my favorite thing to do. There are so many neat things to see, like over there, and so many strange things to find, like under here. My parents tell me to be careful. They say you never know what you'll run into in the wild. I say I am an explorer, and explorers are prepared for anything. So I climb over trees, I roll down hills. I run and I run until one day I ran right into another explorer. Don't think there's an explorer you want to run into. I was scared at first. I mean, I was really scared. But then I saw we were both explorers. Together, we found things to touch, things to see, things to hear, and even things to taste. Well, kind of. No discovery was too small to share, and no mountain was too big to conquer. This was our day. This was our adventure. We were kings of the wild. I didn't want it to end, but I had to go home. So I took a picture to always remember the greatest explorer I ever met. And I'd say that's a pretty good picture. And that is the end of our story. And this story was dedicated to every explorer who runs through the wild with open heart and an open mind. And since we're talking about exploring is one of the best things that you can do. And though the Indianapolis Zoo isn't open right now, it does not mean you can't go exploring other places, like in your backyard. So I challenge you to find some items in your backyard. After you make an explorer pack, go out into your backyard, find some items that you can make a nature monster out of. I'm going to go and do that with Lori, and the next time you see me, we're going to head inside and show you how to make a nature monster of your own. Alright guys, well I am back inside, and we just had those storms pass through Indiana, and I found a bunch of items to make our nature monster with. So you can see all these different things that I found along my walk back inside, and we had a very short walk back inside, so I can imagine you can probably find a lot of things in your backyard to be able to make your nature monster. Now your nature monster doesn't actually have to be a monster, though you could make it a monster. I'm going to make mine a fairy. And so I'm going to start the branch for the fairy to be on, and I'm going to glue down this big branch here. And what you're going to need is some glue, glue sticks if you have it, tape also helps you, and then scissors. So I've got my big huge branch there. So that's where we're going to start. Now my nature monster is my fairy is going to have a tail. And so this is going to be the body of my fairy. So I'm going to start by putting this down with some glue. And I figure since this comes to a tip at the end, that it would be good to put it up against the branch so that we can use that as the tail. Now you might have a lot of glue outside of your pot, and that's okay. It will dry, and that should be totally fine. I'm going to help seal mine with some more glue here. Trying to make sure I get enough glue on here so that it stays. Okay, so I've got some glue here. Once it dries, just let it sit and dry and it will be perfect. While that's happening, I'm going to use my pencil and just draw a tail that's going to wrap around the branch. Draw up to the branch, over the branch, back around. And then once your nature monster dries, you can make this tail look really awesome and fill it in. Okay, so now I've got my body down. I'm going to draw the head. So I'm going to put a neck here coming off of my body and just make a head. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I will put some eyes. And I think I'm going to make mine with eyes open. And a mouth. And I am going to put some hair on my fairy. In order to do that, I'm going to use this branch here that I have, because once I start to break it up, it kind of looks like dust, which I think would be kind of cool for hair. So I'm going to break it up a bit and push it down into my glue And even though it's covering the face a little, don't worry. Can shape it however you want to around the face. And once it dries, if you shake it off, the little extra pieces will fall off. Now, every good fairy, in my opinion, should have a flower crown. And I found this little flower here that I'm actually going to use a piece of tape to put this flower crown on, because I don't want it to mess up our hair too much. So I've got a little piece of tape here. It's gonna go across, and that's gonna help the flower crown be on. The tail part, I actually can put a little glue on and put it right into the hair. Okay, so we've got beginnings of a good fairy here. Now our fairy's gonna need some arms. So I took this big leaf and I cut little parts off of it to make arms. So I'm gonna put it right into the glue that I already have here to make these fairy arm slash wings. They kind of look like wings. And I've got these little tiny green leaves that I'm going to put onto the ends to make it look like hands. Put right underneath the very tips here, and you're going to stick the leaf right into the glue. I'm going to hide the stem a little bit. All right. Now, since my fairy has a tail, I'm also going to put some legs. For that, I'm actually going to use this stem and the stem of that, just to put some funky little legs on it. I don't think fairies need very big legs if they fly. So I'm going to stick some glue down here. And the cool thing about making nature monsters is that it ends up a little bit 3D. Pieces are sticking out, and that's a really fun thing to have and to make. So whenever you can make something where the pieces are sticking out, 3D is a lot of fun. And every good fairy needs pixie dust. So I'm going to use my glue stick instead of liquid glue. Put some pixie dust all around. Now, if you have glitter and your parents let you use glitter, you can do this. Great thing is, on a really nice day, you can make this outside, so you don't have to use glitter in the house. But I don't have any glitter, so I found these leaves, and these leaves disintegrate really well. So I'm gonna just kind of let it disintegrate all over the page. I have one more little leaf here for this side. I kind of push them into the glue. Okay. And there is my fairy. Now I know it's still drying, but I'll hold it up a little bit so that my coworker Lori can get a good look at it. But there's my fairy with the seed pod body and some really fun pieces to them, all made, this little nature monster is all made by items I found outside and a little bit of drawing. So I hope that you guys had fun today learning how to explore and being explorers of the wild. And I hope that you had fun learning how to make your own nature monster. I made a fairy, but you can make an actual monster if you want to. Or I've even seen people use leaves and lots of different things to make their favorite animal at the zoo. So I hope that you guys have fun. Come and visit us when we're back open. But I'm going to say bye for now. Go outside and go explore. Bye, guys.